for you, it's in that funnel, it's more about the targeted messaging, right? And it's more about and it's more about the content. It's more about how you calibrate or design the funnel, but the general idea works, the general premise works for anything that you're trying to generate interest in. Is that accurate?
Exactly. Yes. You're just refining the language that could speak directly to one specific types of people. And you continue working and refining that message over and over. And the reason why funnels work, by the way, is there's only one way to go in a funnel. So there's different stages that you're pushing people in, and you're not giving them options. You're just driving them towards one specific path. And the more that you learn about your clients and the more you understand your market, the more you can refine that language inside your funnels to address specifically their pain points and how you can help them. And that's where the magic of the funnels come from. I've rarely seen people just get success from their first funnels. The results usually comes from continuing refining your funnel over and over and getting obsessed with it. For the lawyers who are kind of understand that this is the way to go, and I'm going to work on my funnel and I'm not going to give up until I get success from it. Those are the people that are successful. And those are the people that those 300 people showed up in their funnel, showed up in that room because they were able to stick with their funnel and continue refining it until they got it working.
So you've spent a lot of time marketing with lawyers, so you want to understand where I'm going to go with this next. So law firms don't like to use the word sales. Okay, I get that. Okay, marketing they embrace more. Okay, although different concepts, I think, and then branding. And so, at what point in your process do you move away from a branding, or maybe they're together, but a branding strategy where you're just sort of trying to create positive buzz about your company and what you do and to create a positive image? But you're not really there's no necessarily a CTA attached to, a call to action attached to that. It's more about just think good thoughts when you see Perform Law, think good thoughts when you see law firm X. And the actual marketing or sales piece, it's really more of a sales piece, but the actual targeted piece that has a CTA attached to it that actually tries to attract a potential buyer to a law firm. What do you do with people how do you get people past that, where it's just like, well, I'm comfortable saying really nice things and I'm comfortable putting out really classy content, but I'm not comfortable asking for business?
Well, you have no choice. You need to encompass both in your marketing. And if you just only do direct marketing where you're only selling yourself, no one wants to speak to you. Also, at the same time, if you're just, keeping it very broad and keeping it all very, as you said, branding marketing, then that's also too soft, and that's not really going to work. So
Right.
you need to encompass both. The way that I can look at it is, for me, it's 80% direct marketing, 20% branding. A lot of people.
That's an interesting stat. So you're 80%. Can you say that again for the audience?
80% direct marketing. That means I only spend money that gets me clients that month. I don't do anything broad. Like I don't do SEO that could possibly work or not. I do paid ads that brings me direct results. That brings me leads as soon as I turn on the paid ads, that week, that day, that hour sometimes. And I'm able to quickly test things and see whether it works or not. And that's not really branding. I'm not gonna start off my law firm doing branding. Branding is a kind of like a long-term play once you got your direct marketing down. So yeah, usually go after direct marketing. It's the way to go.
Okay. So that's interesting because I think most people are more comfortable with the reverse of that, right? I'd rather just, send you a piece of content or tell you how great we are or this great result we got, and you should by osmosis absorb that and want to hire us because, but I don't want to have to ask you for anything. I just want you to come to me and beg me to hire, beg me to do your legal work. And I think that's a really challenging. So it's challenging to get people comfortable with that. So one question I have for you, more psychologically, when you're working, how do you get people to there's this concept of transference, where you think that everybody thinks like you. So you say, well, I wouldn't be interested in an ad like that. I think that might be cheesy or something like that. And you're like, no, actually going to respond to this really well. You got to get out of your own way. How do you get people to overcome that? Is it just sort of like, trust me, we'll try it, and when you get some success, you'll get it? Or how do you handle that?
Um, there's always two types of lawyers that we get into our program, or people that are interested in our program. And then at that point, we kind of have to evaluate them to see whether they're qualified to take our program. There's lawyers who are very open. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to make some changes for my law firm. And those lawyers, we know who they are as soon as they come in. They're very perceptive to learning. They implement fast. They don't ask as many questions. They don't overthink things. They just implement right away.
That's the key, right? Don't
Right.
overthink it, right?
And then there's ones who are like, no, I've been running my law firm like this for the last 15 years. You can't tell me what to do. No, this, what about that, questions, this, that. And usually those ones are the toughest people to work with. And usually we don't accept those people because we know we can really help them if they're not willing to help themselves.
Yeah.
So you got to be willing to learn from anybody. You got to be willing to change. Everything always evolves constantly. And it's always good to listen to people for anything that helps you, do things differently, look at anything differently. And if everybody's running this way, run the other way. I'm a completely contrarian thinker, and everything that I do for my business and everything that I do is always the opposite of what everyone else is doing. So if everybody's doing SEO, I'd rather not do SEO. If everybody's doing, Facebook posts, I'm not going to do Facebook. I'd rather do Instagram. So always ask yourself, am I following the herd, or am I following, the the top focus way to